Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
I'm just over here swooning over Craig Worth's cameo in a soap opera. I just love Mr. Worth and the fall premieres. I'm all about fall. And I love when fall meets winter, which is what happened in our high country. Look at the snow, but you have the fall colors. Chris Williams caught this in Little Cottonwood Canyon. It's stunning. We like to call this snowleage. It's like fall foliage, but snowleage. It's a lot better. All right, we've got to talk about the weekend because, yes, you've heard of the flooding, but did you see this video? A lot of us were running around this weekend. Andrea shared this with us. Look at the floodwaters into Willa County, Stansbury Park. Got a lot of moisture. Just want to remind folks, very, very dangerous to drive through floodwaters. It will definitely not be something you want to do. It can mess up your car. It's not safe. There's a lot of debris in those floodwaters. Look at some of these totals coming off of the weekend. 3.74 inches in Stansbury Park, where they had a lot of flooding. I was out there this weekend. 2.81 inches in Tooele. This was record-breaking rainfall. 2.65 inches in Centerville. 2.62 at Salt Lake International. Almost 2 inches in Farmington. 1.87 in Magna. Look at the Bountiful Bench. Davis County, 1.5 inches in Ogden. Over 1 inch in Sandy and in Logan. So really big moisture moving in with that last storm system. We started with a dry start to the work week, but you know, that was the second rainiest day. Saturday was the second rainiest day in Salt Lake City ever on record, making the history books there with all that moisture. Quieter today, but noticeably cooler. Love the fall colors coming out of Cedar Breaks. Scott and Susan sent us that one. Oh, they're just popping. So pretty. High temperatures today, only 61 in Salt Lake. Average is 70. So we're running significantly below average with that cooler northerly flow. 60s and 70s on the eastern side of the state. Now, talk about a temperature swing because we had to warm things up. We started at 43 today, 81 in St. George, which is very close to where you should be, but not totally to average. Into tonight, clear skies into the 40s by the time we wrap ABC4 News at 10. Mid-40s for the overnight. It's going to be another cold one with mostly clear skies. Cool, crisp, starting the day out tomorrow on the chilly side. The sun will come up. There will be plenty of it, and we're going to stay dry. Temperatures will get back to average because we bring back that southerly flow. Time-lapse video coming out of Ivins, where they made the low 80s today. That's a pretty shot of what we were seeing down south. Dry conditions on the satellite radar, but you still notice we're under the influence of that northerly flow, which keeps us quiet. I want to show you, we're going to stay quiet Tuesday and then again into Wednesday. Futurecast shows us those red lines there. That's our southerly flow. That will allow warmer air to move in and get our temperatures back to average. But notice we stay dry. Into Thursday, we start to see some changes. So Tuesday and Wednesday, we don't really see much of a change. And then wet weather potential begins to climb Thursday for the south and then Friday for the Wasatch Front. There's a reason why. Let's go ahead and take a look. We have a Rex block set up, meaning a high pressure stacked on top of a low pressure. The air actually is a backwards S. That's how it flows through it. This is a blocking pattern we see in the western United States, which is going to keep us quiet for the next 2 days. Eventually, we're going to see it break down. We get that southerly flow bringing back warmer air, but the development of an upper level low off the Pacific Northwest coast, it's going to keep some active conditions and moisture. Speaking of moisture, look at this. This is by Thursday into Friday. Deep tropical moisture from what was Hurricane Priscilla, you see it churning there, gets caught up in our southwesterly flow, and we drag that into the Beehive State. Southern and central Utah first, that surges north as we head Friday and into Saturday. So moisture potential's there. And here comes the low. It will send a cold front through, just like what we saw this weekend, and the potential for some heavy rain returns for some. Forewarning you early, want this in the weather conversation, especially when deep tropical moisture could be in place. 60s for tomorrow, still slightly below average, but not bad. 77 in Moab, 86 in St. George, closer to seasonal norms. We do get a warm day in here before things change. Upper 80s in Washington County, but with all that moisture, increasing cloud cover Thursday with scattered showers Friday, Saturday, and Sunday down south. Here's the Wasatch Front. Notice those numbers going 60s to 70s to hello 80s. Yes, it's possible. Isolated storms Friday into Saturday. We get that cold front with the chance of storms and showers. You notice those numbers taking another dip into the 50s. So we're going to get cool yet again. We get a few days of quiet and then we're back at it. We've got sports coming up right after this.